I had the non-class Sunday, which really took me into like a tailspin a little bit, which I think was really good. It actually showed me where I'm at, my resilience, my clarity and understanding. There's a space for that, right? There's a space to tune into what's there for me, because again, those are the spaces that we need to transmute, right? those are the spaces. And so, quick story, I woke up, I messaged the woman. I was like, okay, it's like Saturday night, the class was supposed to be Sunday. And I kind of had a feeling that it was gonna either be really, really low, I was setting myself up for like one person. And also none, but I wasn't feeling into that. I was just like, okay, just whatever. And then when I messaged her, I was like, hey, do we have anybody sign up? And I was kind of giving that day, and I did a little bit of push of some of my own marketing and emailing and messaging and texting friends, and I didn't get one person sign up. And it was such a great learning lesson. That night I was like, okay, it's cool. My self-protection mode was like, no, whatever. And I text her back like, no worries, it's okay, so brush it off. It's kind of my first reaction, because I knew it was like, at the time I didn't really think about it, but I was like, okay, whatever. And part of me was a little relieved, and that came up like as I was going to bed, and I was like, okay, but it was like tired, and I just can't even contemplate anything that's going on. So then I wake up in the morning, and my first thought was like, oh, my class. And then my second thought was like, oh, there is no class, and so there was a sadness, there was a loss there. My husband was like half asleep laying next to me, and so I just kind of like flung my arms and my body over him, and I was just like, oh, and he's like, why are you flinging yourself on me, or something like that, or like what's up or whatever, and I'm like, I'm sad, and I start crying, and usually he's used to day-to-day, kids and whatever the moment is, so he's used to me being sad, and I'm like, my class, nobody's signed up, and of course in his beautiful masculine way, he's like, well, I'll sign up for your class, and I was like, thank you. I know, mahalo, appreciated, but I can't imagine you being there. I can't imagine you being in that space. It's really not for you. It's not something I think you would be interested in. And of course, he made me laugh, so that was nice and airy, bringing in some air. And that just allowed me to kind of like shift and just be like, okay, it's okay. And then move into a space of just curiosity of what do I want? What is the next step? Like, what are my choices? I can sit here and wallow and be sad and figure out ways to like make this class work and force it and blah, blah, blah. Or I just ask myself, like, what's going to make you happy today? This obviously wasn't meant to be. What is going to make you happy? And I had a meetup with a Village Prenatal. And then I was like, okay, I'm like, that would be cool to do. Let me fill into that. The next thing was go roller skate. So I messaged my friend. I was like, I'm going down to the ferry landing. I'm putting my skates on, and threw my skates in the cart. Went down there, put my skates on. I was feeling into 90s feminine hip hop, so Salt and Peppa came up. So I was just skating down by the ferry landing and just feeling so free, so good, so just expanded, even though like something that was, really personal to me and something that I put out there, my vulnerability, didn't really move through. And it just felt so good. It just felt amazing. And with that shift, so much creativity came in while I was skating. I felt into this plant space. I had an interaction with a woman last week, a design woman that came in here and was so beautiful. And she, in that moment, came back to me to remember, because she was commenting on my indoor plants, and she's like, how do you keep your plants so nice? Well, I'm like, I don't know. I go, it's just intuitive. Like, I listen to the plants and the plants talk to me, and and we just, I figure out where they want to be and how they're happy. And he's like, oh my gosh, that's so crazy, because like, so many people need the help with that. And I was like, interesting. And it just all kind of like came to me of like, wow, like that would be such a beautiful space to be able to like lean into. So that creativity came up, and then just allowing that to intermesh with where I realized that my connection to the woman that I was doing the class with actually the idea came up that she just came into a new space and that it would be lovely to be able to decorate it with plants and to be able to have her make it more of a homey, because that's kind of her vibe. And so I just, all this flood of like creativity came in, and I was just like, it would be so great to put a curio cabinet in that area and make it look like a home. But then, because we were talking about doing retail stuff, and so she's wanting to bring in San Diego based women and their products and natural plant-based things. And I was like, I've been wanting to do a plant-based space and business for a long time, and it just all got together. It was so amazing. And so I was telling my friend about it, and so she was like, I think that's a really good idea. And she's like, it's obviously your zone of genius, so keep doing that. And I was like, and the whole point of it is that the practices that I've done and everything that has brought me to this space is everything that I want to put on video to be able to offer to women that want to be able to be in their flow and in their space and be clear and connected. And that's it. The journey that I've been on and the practices that I do, really, for me anyway, they work.